Happy hump day. Here we are on this Wednesday evening. Davion Aleshly, Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff, and we want to provide a little weather update. Now, we do have a 9 o'clock newscast, so we're going to have to get to the details pretty quick. And our newscast for KNWA is going to be on a little later tonight. So we've got a little bit of a late one. But we're watching this system, Aleshly and Davion, for the last several days. It's coming. It's coming overnight tonight. And the model's doing a pretty terrible job on the initialization in terms of the thunderstorm activity because I don't know if you already saw it, Davion. There's thunderstorms out there.
Oh, yeah. Already severe just south of Oklahoma City, moving right into Oklahoma City as of right now.
Well, nobody does weather like Oklahoma. There's just no doubt about that. Aleshly, we've been watching this system. Davion, you had the day off yesterday, but Aleshly, we're getting some rain. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. We've again been keeping our eye on it, considering also the pacing of it. Like, it kept telling us, hey, you're going to start as soon as like Wednesday afternoon, and then it became Wednesday evening, and then Thursday morning, and so. But nonetheless, it's finally showing up despite what the models are telling us. So
you gotta love that. You gotta love that. So someone's saying this is something that's new to this system is the vertical format, and you're right. Vertical format. You see me, but everybody kind of back up here. Back up this way. Yeah. So, hey, vertical format is terrible. I hate vertical. That's why. It does on YouTube show vertical and horizontal. But if you turn your phone sideways, Lizette, try to see maybe if that shows up all of us. So there is an ability to do vertical and horizontal, but it doesn't size it up for the phone. So when are the storms coming to Chester? That's a good question. Overnight tonight and into the morning, we're going to dive into that. Let's get to it because we don't have a whole lot of time, but we've got a lot to talk about in this Facebook Live. We'll do another update too. I'm going to give us a little less headroom. How about that? There we go. Let's take a look here at, first of all, the weather graphics. So big system popping up, these storms off to the west. Had reports of hail already. We got multiple storms and severe storms, and there's so she turns it sideways, and now it's landscape. So there you go. You can do horizontal and vertical. But I'll tell you what, our graphics aren't built for vertical. They're just not. I mean, everything that we do is 1920 by 1080. It's wide. I know that you can build vertical graphics, but you can see the tie that I've got. The tie that I have is the rain tie because we got a lot of rain coming. So let's, first of all, take a look at the severe weather risk. We'll look at the higher resolution models and the newest day one convective outlook as we load that up. Man, we're going to have to probably reboot some computers. Click off of it and click back on. Yeah, there we go.
Taking its sweet time.
Yep. As always. As always. All right, here we go. Here's this severe weather risk as we take a look at the day one convective outlook. So a storm or two is going to be possible. And if you have your phone in vertical, guess what? You might not even see the script or the words on the left. You don't. You just barely see our weather coverage area. I don't know how to beat that, but we'll just deal with it right now. If you're watching on YouTube, just turn your phone sideways and you'll get landscape. So we got late tonight through 6 a.m. Thursday. The main threats with these are going to be small hail and gusty winds. Now, there's some bigger hail out west. In fact, why don't we look at Mega Doppler here? And Leslie, I'll let you control that. We'll pan to the west. You can see multiple storms that are severe, including those storms, Davion, as you mentioned, going right through Oklahoma.
Right through the city.
Oh, who's getting push-ups tonight? Did we say some push-ups? Might be, because tonight, tomorrow, you know, miles per hour.
Miles per hour.
Davion already knows this, man. What else? What are the other push-ups for reason? That's funny. Who's getting push-ups tonight? We're still bringing the push-ups. So here is a left split. It looks like we got one storm that's popping up, and that's north of looks like northeast of Sparks. So Okima, if we put that into motion. Leslie, you're going to see those storms. We're going to put this into motion. You can definitely see that less split action. There's been some splitting supercells for sure. Okay, so back to our weather graphics, taking a look at the timing. Let's see just how well or how bad the HRRR did. And this, by the way, has the CAPE overlay too. So Oh my goodness. Pretty bad. Pretty terrible. There you see, again, some thunderstorms not really even showing up right now. So we're at 8 o'clock. Let's just give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's go to 9 o'clock. Nope.
Tries to kill it.
Tries to kill it.
There's
And
nothing around
meanwhile,
Oklahoma City.
exactly. She says, and nothing in Oklahoma City. And meanwhile, this is what's actually happening.
Some
Quite
pretty-
a different story.
Pretty healthy storms actually in
Ooh.
Oklahoma City.
Lightning should be getting push-ups
Oh, yeah,
too.
definitely
I have
should.
to agree with that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We always say lightning, no E. That's not how you spell it. So here's a look again, moving through time. It's terrible. It doesn't look right. So we're going to go back to our Cape with thunderstorm fuel. The main fuel is down to the south, and this just is terrible.
Yes.
You know what? It's so bad. I'm stopping looking at it.
It's way too underdone.
Why is that? Well, because this is a really, really big system. In fact, I want to show you here the water vapor. We talk about this all the time. Look out the window, right, guys? That's what we're trying to do. So you can see the big storm system, a large, slow-moving storm system that continues to churn, and there's all this additional energy that's popping up out ahead of it that the models can't even resolve. So they don't even show any of this activity popping up because you know it. What is it called, Davion?
Southwest flow.
Southwest flow, but what else?
Baja blast.
Oh, there it is. The Baja blast. You got it. And that really is I mean, even though it's not a weather term, it really does make sense because all that energy coming in from the Southwest is popping up those storms. So when we're talking about taking a look at models and telling you what to expect, it's kind of difficult to do that. If we look at the wider view, you're going to see two storms. Number one, the storm that comes through tonight and into our Friday. You got storm number 2 that's coming in Monday through Tuesday, and a lot of energy is on the way. One of the things that Aleshley and I wanted to do is we were going to compare the GFS and the European, put them side by side, step through them, see what it's like, and then we can basically tell you exactly what you can expect. So what we'll do is we'll set that up. But first of all, let's take a look at the rain timing as we kind of dive through some of the information. So this is what we've got for our timing, not computer models, not anything. It's basically just the 2-day precipitation forecast. And you can see that we still have some slight chances for rain at 10 o'clock. Are we going to get rain into our area by 10? Oh, it's going to be close.
It's going to be very close.
The sound keeps cutting in and out. That's not good. I don't like that. Is anybody else having that problem? Let me know if that's the case. It looks like the mic's pretty good. We might need to do some rebooting. Make a no, oh no, Southwest Flow as a shirt, Dan. I know. Okay, so there's a look at the 2-day precipitation forecast. You can see the way that rain is really ramping up, and then it kind of drops off Friday morning. So that's what we're expecting in terms of the timing for Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley. We've got thunderstorms that are going to be likely as well. And in fact, we got 100% for that chance of rain. Now, why is it going to be heaviest? Well, later on tonight. So let's look at the extended forecast, or should I say later on tomorrow night. Let's see if this is doing any better. So here's the updated HRRR. Nope, garbage. And let's see if it's got anything. It doesn't even show any storms at all.
In the morning, yeah, that's too quiet.
That seems a little too quiet to me. Yeah, that's way too quiet. And this is the thing with these computer models is they just don't handle the hourly trends perfectly.
Yeah, again, with those Baja energy blasts coming towards us,
Baja blast.
the models aren't picking that up.
We
There's
don't
a
have
lot-
any either.
Yeah,
I went to the fridge. I looked for Baja blast.
We ran out.
We had it before.
We had-
No Baja blast. So that's why the models are trash. All right, we'll take a look here at the storm for tomorrow because a lot of people asking, including the potential for severe weather. So there is a severe weather risk for tomorrow. This severe weather risk goes from 6 a.m. Thursday through 6 a.m. Friday. Now, that's not the exact time of the storms. That's just the valid time for the day 2 convective outlook. It's not 7 a.m. anymore because we're done with daylight saving time. But you'll see here that level 1, 6 a.m. Thursday to 6 a.m. Friday, small hail, gusty winds, and a tornado or 2 is possible. And in fact, when we take a look here, at the tornado risk, you will see that there is what we call a 2% risk. Now, 2% doesn't sound like a big deal, but keep in mind that is 2% above climatology.
Yep.
And that is also not only that, but that's 2%. And we know the climatology right now is not as common.
Yeah,
I mean,
not
yes,
as
there is a
common.
little bit of a secondary severe weather season, but that means it's not zero. And not zero is the way for a meteorologist to say, we're not expecting a tornado, but there could be. So we've got a mesoscale discussion on these storms out west. Let's take a look at that here on the Storm Prediction Center. So let's see what we got. So there it is, mesoanalysis.
Severe thunderstorm.
Less than 95 miles per hour, which means some of the weaker tornadoes, EF0, EF1. Let's bring this up and we'll show you what we're talking about. I'm going to bring this up full. And I'm going to take a look here. You know what? Let's use this. Let's use the good old StreamYard. Open screen share. Yeah, that's a lot quicker, huh?
That's a lot quicker.
Let's see if it's actually showing. It is.
Nice.
All right. So there's a look at the Storm Prediction Center. Once again, not very favorable for, let's see if it's in good vertical. Hey, it actually does do that on vertical when you screen share.
Josh said sound is good, by the way.
Oh, okay, good.
Nice.
Sound is good. All right, so there's the severe weather risk. And notice how that's to the southwest. That makes sense. This risk was updated, looks like at 8:34, so not too long ago, mesoscale discussion. There's the warm front, and we can really see where that warm front is if we look at basically our winds. And I'll show you that here as we look at the winds. I've got them right here. So here is a look at what we've got for the winds. And I'll bring this up full, don't worry, so you can see it. There's a look at the current winds. Notice how, once again, another weather event where we are not seeing those southerly winds in the river valley. So that easterly wind, what it's doing is it's killing the instability. And if we look at the current instability, you will notice that those storms, it's struggling to make it north.
It is.
What you got? Let's see here. I'm looking for that in our show rundown. And there it is, radar cape. So this is the current radar along with the instability. And we just don't have any surface-based instability. Now, the interesting thing, look at what's happening off to the west.
They don't have
We've got a severe thunderstorm warning that doesn't happen in surface-based instability. I am making a graphic that describes surface-based versus elevated. I'm not done with it yet, but I am going to be having that graphic so you can understand. But these storms are elevated. They're not surface-based because that instability obviously works its way a lot farther north. In fact, if we look at the mesoscale, let's do the mesoanalysis here and check that out. And then we'll look at some ingredients. We'll look at some soundings. And we only got 10 minutes before I lead to Fox 24 News at 9. So surface-based cape, bring this up here on the screen and you'll get to see it. Share this tab instead. Go back there. Make sure you are on that. There we go. So here's the mesoanalysis. There's the surface-based instability. Absolutely none. But if we look at mostly unstable, well, looky what we have here.
There it is.
There's the instability, mostly unstable. That's where that storm is riding.
Right
so
south of Tulsa.
hail is going to be that predominant threat. And just to reiterate, Davion, what does that mean? Surface-based versus mostly unstable.
Yeah, so we got surface-based is essentially cape, of course, lower and down in the atmosphere. You'll likely see your storms. They'll be pretty strong down at the surface, but when you have mostly unstable cape that's higher up in the atmosphere, you really start to see the threat for any kind of like lower level kind of things like tornadoes, essentially to decrease, and you'll start to see more things like hail. And that's exactly what we're seeing in that storm that's just southwest of Tulsa.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great point. And when you have that elevated instability, like you mentioned, not surface-based, but elevated, that means your rising motion in the thunderstorm is happening in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. So if you do have tornado potential, you're not going to be able to lift the air at the lowest levels of the atmosphere, which will allow those tornadoes to develop.
Right.
So Josh Rugger chiming in, saying,
Nice.
I've been hearing a lot about social media chatter, how models are backtracking. Well, models have been backtracking on the storms that are in Oklahoma, so I don't believe it either. And I totally think it's a pump fake. It's not even a question. Garbage.
right.
Garbage in, garbage out, honestly.
Yeah.
So there's all those little disturbances. In fact, we said we were going to do that. Let's do this real quick. Let's go into the vorticity map. I will let you load it up piece by piece. Davion, you go ahead and load up vorticity on GFS. We'll take a look at it here. Where is it? It's forecast models. It should be model graphics. There it is. Yeah. Okay, we'll load up the European here. I'm going to load it up full so I don't have any motion on the camera angles, okay? And we'll keep the same camera angle. So stand by. This will just take a little bit of time. But Josh, to answer your question, garbage, man. I don't believe it. It's garbage. So we're going to go here. I'm going to go into the GFS. Yep. We're going to open this 10-day, and we're going to do a side-by-side. So now I'm just going to go with the models. Okay, so we have the same view.
Yep.
All right, so let's do this. So we're going to do Max 1 and Max 2. The model on the left is the European. The model on the right is the GFS. First thing to note is that there's all these little disturbances that you can see kind of leading into the southwest side of Fayetteville and northwest Arkansas. Those are what's firing those storms right now. And you can see how the models kind of have a little bit of a depiction on it. Not a great one, but you can definitely see that across the area. So let's go ahead and we'll move ahead to 6 a.m. in the morning. So just kind of, 6 a.m. in the morning on Thursday. Very similar. Notice the two upper level systems off to the southwest. That's a real similar weather pattern. We'll move along here again. We'll take a look. Go to 6 p.m. Thursday. So we're 6 p.m. Thursday. Both models looking very similar. One system moving out. Notice all the additional energy that's moving in. Notice how the GFS actually has a little bit more of that stronger vorticity over northwest Arkansas. All right, 6 a.m. on Friday. And now you can see somewhat similar, but the GFS has a little bit of a stronger system farther south on Friday morning, which is why I think some showers could linger while the GFS just zips it out of here like it typically does. Okay, and now we'll go forward again to 6 p.m. on Friday. And so 6 p.m. on Friday, you can see those two systems still showing. Now, the other one lifting north, moving out, but the next one's coming in. They both have that analyzed. And so we are getting precipitation for next week. We'll take a look again at this and go. Let's just go to 6 p.m. Saturday. All right, we're going to go forward here. System very similar. Look at that. Almost identical. Yeah. As we said that identically at the same time. Let's go to 6 p.m. Sunday. Both looking somewhat similar. The GFS is trying to speed it up as always.
Is a little faster.
It always is. That's got a fast model bias. And then we'll continue to go forward a little bit more. And go to 6 p.m. Monday. So there's the system coming in Monday. Look at that. GFS is way faster. So that's why the models, Kentucky basketball, very overrated and washed. Okay, go to 6 p.m. Tuesday. Now look at that. The system's gone, but yet both of them kind of have it. I want to go to Thanksgiving because that's the last thing we're going to talk about before we do a quick recap of the storm. So go to Thanksgiving morning, 6 a.m. on Thursday. And this is a side-by-side of the models. Now look.
That's a very big difference.
That's a big time difference.
Whoa.
So the GFS has been hinting at potentially maybe a little bit of precipitation, whereas the European is stronger with that system and also a lot farther north. So there's a lot of uncertainty between the two models in terms of that. So real quick recap. We've got storms coming tonight. They're already developing off to our west. You can see that as we go on Mega Doppler and maybe just zoom out just a smidge. There we go. Got some storms popping up. Nothing in northwest Arkansas at the moment. Additional storms will be developing as we go throughout the day tomorrow. I don't even want to show you the future models because they're so trash. They're not even getting what's happening in Oklahoma right now. But we know storms are going to be likely. There's one model we haven't looked at, and then we're going to shut this down, the graph model. And by the way, too, I want to show you this. Let's see if this works. This is a graphic.
Gotta test it out.
Let's see. Let's see what we got.
Drum roll, please.
And I have it for last night. And oh wait, no, something. No. Yeah, that's because the other one just went out. Doesn't act well. I tweeted it out. I posted it on social media and stuff like that. But let's take a look at the graph real fast. Okay, I got to get going here. Well, I actually got to get mic'd up. I'm not even mic'd up. I don't even realize that. Okay, guys, I'll let you handle this as I close it out. There you go. Go bring up the graph model real quick. Because I am starting it off, right?
So we're bringing up the graph model, and hopefully this shows a better understanding of what we think tomorrow will look like as we get that graph.
Can you hand me my microphone, Leslie, and IFB?
There you go.
You also have the mic on.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna take that off here real soon, but not until we cut the
Fox News
live
at
stream.
9 is about to start.
We could give them a little preview of the forecast first.
I know, right?
Yeah, just do that.
You guys will get to hear Dan live.
So here's what the graph is showing. You zoom out.
Yeah, see, that has storms.
Has
All
a
right.
better idea of what's happening.
There's at least
right
something.
now.
Something coming through.
Yeah,
right?
and then a
look
lot
at
more
that.
too. Yeah,
Oh.
that's a little bit of a better view.
Yeah, there you go. Your 6
Strong
a.m. morning
thing.
commute time. It's looking a little
Yeah.
questionable there.
Little dicey for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice. And
You can bring up weather too if you want, and I'll just control this over here.
There you go.
Forecast first, and then after we do that first forecast, we will shut it down, the live stream. But we could be back on tonight depending on what happens. So we'll watch those storms closely, and tomorrow as well.
get this loaded up.
Yeah, look at all those storms. Man, there's a ton of them.
Yeah, this has and again, it won't be raining heavy for a full 24 hours. There'll be some lows, but they won't last very long.
Hey, Dan.
Oh, I thought I turned it on. Oh, no. They got me mic'd though, right? Check, check, check. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's
We're going to do weather one.
you guys get to get a preview of
And so you know how to bring it up, right? You go to PCR.
Chief Meteorologist
Yep.
Dan Scall with
Yeah.
your
I'll throw it on once
Okay.
it's going.
I'll throw
Throw
on
it,
your
make it up.
ANPS so you can see where we're at.
Okay, you can start her up.
They believe that the suspect was on a school bus and going to school.
Tonight on Fox 24 News at 9, we have the latest shocking details on a young student facing serious charges after a gun was found in their possession. It's a motive known at this hour, though. We have that story coming up.
When January 1st comes, what's going to happen to us?
That's the million-dollar question for a Springdale nonprofit at risk of losing hundreds of thousands in funding, hurting its mission of helping children who are victims of abuse.
It's an attack on our sovereignty, and we're not going to stand for it.
A trio of Oklahoma tribes casting a line to a federal lawsuit against the state over their ability to hunt and fish. What we know tonight is your News at 9 starts right now.
Taking you further. This is Fox 24 News at 9.
Certainly don't rely on your calendar to assume the weather. That's because plenty of rain and even a chance for severe weather is on the doorstep. Thanks for joining us here at 9 o'clock. I'm Casey Smith. Joshua Pineda has the night off. So let's go ahead and waste no time and bring in Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff. Dan, there's a lot of green on that map behind you there, and certainly a lot more coming.
Yeah, you got that. That's right. If we go to weather one, you'll be able to notice too, as we take a look off to the west. Let's go ahead if we can on weather one. And you'll see as we look at our Mount Magazine Weatherboard Network camera, Casey, things are quiet right now, but as you mentioned, it's November. We hit the upper 70s again, record-breaking warmth. Doesn't feel like November except for the leaves flying off the trees. That's about the only way you know it's November. Temperatures are still really mild. Now, here's the deal. We've got thunderstorms on the way. In fact, look at all the storm activity off to the west. You were talking about Oklahoma. Oklahoma is getting their fair share of storms, and we are expecting storms later on tonight. In fact, you can already see a little bit of development coming through. Big storm system on the way, and these storms are going to be impacting the area overnight tonight and into the morning. But you can see how that instability remains just to the south of I-40, although still some elevated storms will be possible. So there's that severe weather risk. 1 or 2 storms could be severe tonight into the morning tomorrow. Additional storms coming our way as we go throughout the afternoon. We've got it all included in a very busy, active Fox 20 forecast. That's coming up in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Dan. Be sure to tune back in for that. And a Huntsville high school student is in custody tonight after being accused of stealing a gun and a car.
They used the wrong weather. They said weather 1. Right. Told them weather 1.
You said
That's all right. Let's switch to weather 1. That's right. All right, guys. Well, we'll shut it down here. You can bring it up on that. We're going to shut it down now, but we will give another update. And of course, if these storms get bad, we'll let you know about it, and we'll be live right on here. So we're going to do the graph model. That's what I'm showing tonight. So, all right.
There we go.
Take care, guys. Thanks for watching.
good
Bye.
night.
Let's scroll down here.